The scheduling problems we have discussed so far is restricted only for single processor. If the system has multiple processors, then the CPU scheduling becomes more complex. Okay. In today's class, we are going to concentrate only on homogeneous processors, that is, processor which has similar functionality. Okay. So there are two approaches for multiprocessor scheduling: asymmetric and symmetric processing. In asymmetric multiprocessing, only one processor which accesses the system data structures. So what happens actually is it will access all other processes. So it acts as a master and all other processes will act as a slave. So this master processor will manage all other processors. So it will decide which CPU should be scheduled for which process. So even though there are multiple processors available in the system, one will decide who should be scheduled for whom. Whereas in symmetric multiprocessing, there is no master-slave relationship. So each processor is allowed to have self-scheduling. So they can decide on which process, which CPU should be scheduled. And also they can use a common ready queue, or they can have their own separate private ready queue. So if they are using a common ready queue, then they should take care that no two processors choose the same process. So while implementing symmetric multiprocessing with common ready queue, we should take care that no two processors choose the same process simultaneously. Okay. So in symmetric multiprocessing, movement from one processor to other processor is possible. So process can switch between multiple processors. So a single process can switch from one processor to other processor. So when a process moves from one processor to other processor, what happens to a cache memory? We all know that cache memory maintains a recently used content, like, right? So when a process moves from one processor to other processor, even cache memory should be deleted from the older processor, right? Because the process is no longer available in the older processor because it has moved to the new processor. So cache memory should be invalidated from the old processor, and also new cache memory should be populated in the new processor for that particular process, correct? So this invalidating and repopulating the cache memory, it becomes a big overhead to the CPU. That's why some system will not allow process movement. Some systems avoid process movement. This condition is called processor affinity. So process has affinity for processor on which it is currently running. It means that process which is currently running on a processor cannot switch from particular processor to other processor. So again, here we have two types of affinity: soft affinity and hard affinity. In soft affinity, process does not guarantee that it will not switch from one processor to other processor. It will not guarantee. So in future it may switch from one processor to other processor. So that is soft affinity. Whereas in hard affinity, each process will guarantee that they will not move from one processor to other processor. So they guarantee that they will not switch the processors. Next topic is load balancing. So as we all know, system will have multiple processors. So when a system has multiple processors, load sharing is possible, right? A single processor need not take all the loads onto it. So if a load balancing is not implemented properly, then what happens is there may be a scenario where some processors have a high workload, whereas others are sitting idle. This should not happen. There should be an even distribution of workload to all the processors. So the main goal of load balancing is to keep the workload evenly distributed among different processors. So each processor should have same workload. In order to implement load balancing, it is also necessary that each processors have their own private ready queue. They should have their own ready queue, otherwise load balancing is not possible. There are two approaches for load balancing: push migration and pull migration. In push migration, what happens is there is a specific task to check the load of each processors. So the specific task will periodically check the load of each processors. If it finds an imbalance in the load, then it will take out the process from the ready queue of the busy processor. It will take out the process from the ready queue of the busy processor and it will push that process into the ready queue of the idle processor. So the processor which is idle will be having process now. So busy processor's process will be taken out and it will be pushed into the ready queue of the idle processor. Whereas in pull migration, each processor automatically pulls out the process from the ready queue of the busy processor. If any processor is sitting idle, they will pull out the process from the ready queue of the busy processor and they will start executing that process. So this is all about multiprocessing, scheduling and load balancing. I hope you all have understood. Thank you.